In this video, we are going to talk about Bonk, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of Bonk to go in the next few days and weeks. So we look at the weekly chart, and what we can see right here is that in the last month, we've had some very significant price action by Bonk. A few weeks ago, we've seen it drop below this crucial trend line that it held since 2024. This was the most important trend line and support area on the entire chart for Bonk, and around December, we've seen Bonk drop below the trend line. This was a very crucial sign that I have talked about in the previous video about Bonk, and it was honestly looking very bad. But then a couple of weeks ago, we've seen Bonk get a very explosive green candle breaking back above this trend line and then being quite significantly above it. And then in the days following it, we've seen Bonk starting to drop again, and it is now looking very likely that it will test this trend line again, possibly create a higher low or potentially even a double bottom right here. So this is a much better looking structure for Bonk in my opinion than what it was even a month ago. This is of course with a very strong correlation to Bitcoin. We've seen Bitcoin get a slight rally recently, going all the way above 95k. So it is definitely looking like the sentiment in the crypto market is starting to be a little better again after a few rough months since October. But with that being said, we still have to consider that overall in the long term, Bonk is still creating slightly lower lows as well as lower highs. And also, in general, the entire crypto market is still not doing that great, with Bitcoin still being very far away from its all-time high, and there's still a lot of fear in the market. But with that being said, again, Bonk is looking a lot better now, and it is now looking a lot more likely that it might get a rally, something like we've seen it do back in March, where it bottomed out and then got a rally and a new lower high. So this seems pretty possible. We do have this pretty strong resistance area. This is an area that Bonk got rejected off multiple times in the past, and a rally for Bonk back up to that resistance area would be a rally of nearly 300%. So this of course would be absolutely amazing, but in my opinion it's still a bit too early. I would want to first see Bonk actually creating the higher low and confirming the trend reversal, because it could just continue dropping from here. This could also just be a lower high and it could just continue dropping. So the next few weeks will be very crucial for Bonk, whether it can continue to hold this trend line. If it breaks back below it, then this would be a sign that Bonk will likely just continue its downtrend. But if it actually starts getting some green candles from here, bottoming out again, creating a higher low or maybe a double bottom, as I said, and I think that the confirmation sign would be once it crosses this area that I'm pointing at right here. This would confirm a new local high for Bonk, and that could lead to it getting the rally all the way up to this resistance area, as I said. In general, for such a small market cap meme coin like Bonk, a 300% return is very nice, but it's not anything crazy. There are some other coins that I have talked about that even have the potential to get a 10x, although of course a 10x is always pretty unlikely and it's risky. Bonk is also a very small market cap meme coin and it is very risky, and I'm not sure that the risk that comes with it would really be justified for the potential of a 4x or a return of 300%, and it's still very uncertain in my opinion. So I would personally avoid Bonk at the moment. It could potentially be much better a few weeks from now if we do see it continuing and we get a confirmation of the trend reversal, as I said, but at the moment I would personally avoid it. Of course, this is not financial advice, but I think that there are some better opportunities in the crypto market. So that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about Bonk as well as other meme coins and altcoins, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.